BB851, turn right, heading 180. Order 14 Papa, turn right 245, report localizer established.
What a week it has been within the aviation industry and especially for carriers around the world discussing their current state. Sadly, for the vast majority that have been front and centre, the news has been more so rather bleak than positive. And that continues with focus moving to Indonesia with the national carrier Garuda Indonesia, who have announced that their fleet will likely be cut in half if the global aviation industry does not recover sooner rather than later. The report is with thanks to Bloomberg and goes on to note that at this point in time, Garuda has a total of some 142 aircraft. The aircraft, if you're unaware, consist of the Boeing 777s, 737s, Airbus A330s, and an assortment of regional aircraft. Their most prominent, though, is the 737, followed by the A330s, and then alongside we have the 777. They use these two aircraft for their international services, which have remained largely halted for the past 15 months. The 142 aircraft, though, according to the president of the airline, would be cut to no more than a total of 70. That's half, as they deem that these units are not necessary moving forward for their operations, especially in the current climate that the aviation industry and more generally the world is in. Debt for the carrier is another major prominent issue that is of course affecting their future moving forward. Debt is said to be around a whopping US $4.9 billion, and as the months continue to pass with the industry in such a position, as of right now, that tally only continues to grow for the airline with every passing month. Through currency conversions, I've calculated that Garuda Indonesia roughly adds 70 million USD of debt per month. With the huge amount of debt, as mentioned, already standing at US 4.9 billion and the continued adding of 70 million USD per month, they then therefore struggle to pay their suppliers and fork out the money necessary to keep operations rolling. The perfect example of this is their Airbus A330neo, which is a brand new aircraft that Garuda is simply unable to take delivery of and is now headed to long-term storage in Toulouse. However, what can be said for the Indonesian-based carrier is the pandemic has hit them pretty hard. And it's sad, like I always say. For them, they would have half their fleet. For what aircraft would actually be put on the chopping board, that remains to be seen. Nothing has been confirmed in that sense. But I don't think it's completely hard to imagine that the carrier could be saying goodbye to a number of their international long-haul operation aircraft, like that of the 777s and A330s, and sticking with being a more domestic and regional carrier. This would allow them at least to continue their operations in a better streamlined capacity right now, rather than wait for approvals from various different governments worldwide and of course regulators that they could be waiting a significant period of time for, and if that never comes, it begs the question for the overall impacts the carrier will see in the long term, and whether or not it'll actually be around to see another year within the industry if it's not able to get flying internationally when it has that fleet ready to go. What are your thoughts on the current situation of Garuda Indonesia? Do you potentially believe this is a groundbreaking development with regards to their future fleet? Or do you think it's the best case scenario for them, removing half and sticking to be more of either a regional and domestic carrier or still an international based carrier but with a more streamlined fleet of say just the newer A330neos and a handful of Boeing 777s? Thank you very much for tuning into this video and I will see you next time.